And let's dive into our first story of the night, and that is we're talking some March Madness. It is winding down, ladies and gentlemen, and we are getting to the nitty-gritty with the Final Four. Now, you may be saying, what are these logos? I don't know what these are. I've never seen these before. At least not this far in the tournament. And you're pretty much right. Because you haven't, really. Uconn, maybe. It's like, what's that thing in the lower left corner? It's an owl. Who? The who? The who? But you know what, Scotty? What did we do last stream? We jumped on the owl bandwagon. Let's go. Yes. We are all about. We're jumping on whose bandwagon? Who?
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 Kind of like who let the dogs out, Chris.
Who are we rooting for? Who? We're rooting for the Owls. Let's go.
Is rooting for that red-eyed owl or red-eyebrow.
Diacol is rooting for the Owls. See, we got this, and we're gonna keep it rolling here. Hey, cheers to the Owls. Cheers to all of our Final Four.
Are you drinking wine, Chris?
So we opened a bottle of wine because we had like little spaghetti. We had some Italian sausage. We had a nice little Italian dinner, so we opened up a bottle, and I just kind of went with.
I don't know if I've ever seen you drink wine on stream. That's why I was asking.
It's an ActionLab first that I've ever drank wine on stream. So we're getting fancy. Oh yeah, wine night. Riley knows what's up. Let's go.
Is that a fine Cabernet?
It's a Bordeaux.
A Bordeaux.
Oh, it's a Bordeaux. Because Costco has the 4 Bordeaux bottles for like $20.
Do you guys buy anything that outside of Costco, or
no.
Is it just all at Costco?
All at Costco.
Oh,
Roger.
I thought literally everything you guys purchase is Costco. Which is good.
Yeah. No, I might need to crack another bottle of wine. Who knows? We're getting crazy tonight.
I didn't know it was a bottle you could crack. That sounds fancy.
You crack, yeah. It's the sword trick, I think, right?
Crack it.
Can you do the sword trick with wine, or is that just champagne?
I don't think you can do it with wine, Chris.
Did the bottle of wine have a cork, or was it rubber?
It was
a spin. It was just a top he spun off.
Oh no! I
don't know. I made that
twist it. You twist old school, man. For all y'all, I mean, the box wine. Don't sleep on box wine, by the way. Just saying.
Was it a box wine?
No, it wasn't. But I'm just saying.
It was just a spin-off top.
Yeah,
not a cork. Honestly, I think there's plenty of good spin-off wines out there.
Hey,
I don't drink wine a ton, but
what Scotty? Can I? All right, for all you guys in the chat too. What's the most you will spend on a bottle of wine when you go out? What's the most?
Wait, like when you buy it
when you go to a liquor store and you buy a bottle of wine, what's the most you will spend? You won't ever spend more, because like wine, I don't think I've ever spent more. I think the random is on my level. I've maybe spent $14-15 max on a bottle of wine ever.
I'm probably like 20. Yeah, 20 is probably the max.
Oh, look at you. You don't look at gas prices, but you spend.
Well, listen, if I'm buying wine, it's usually for other people. So I'll drink wine. It's just like I'd rather have beer, seltzer, or liquor before wine.
I mean, you got. I dig on some wine. I just don't always have.
I actually like white wine better.
You know, we got to get in. We got to get in on some of those like NBA. You know, those NBA dudes love wine. They trade wines when they're on the road with each other, right? You know,
yeah. I'm like give me like a nice Pinot Grigio, and I'm good for wine.
Little Pinot Grigio, okay.
Yeah.
I dig on Malbecs. I dig on.
Chairman, you're not helping. Like same. If I'm buying wine, it's probably for someone else, dude. We gotta tell people we're different individuals.
Come on, Chairman. What are we doing, man? Mini me over here. We got Chairman just always trying to.
Usually my wife buys the wine, but like a month ago, she sent me on a mission, and I was trying to find. I was at a huge liquor store and trying to find like something she wanted. And I was like, I can't even find it. I was panicking and I was in a rush. There's too much wine out there, by the way. Too many wines.
And they after a while, it
Let's
doesn't.
shut it down a little bit.
Oh,
These
here we
can't
go.
all be profitable.
Miomi says Durandum, and then we also I prefer a good Chardonnay, $50 or higher.
There you go.
Oh,
There you go.
See,
I fucking hate Chardonnay. No,
I do white wine in the summertime a little different, but Malbec up to $25. Diacola,
okay.
big
Okay.
spender.
Rec, what's your what's do you have like a history with alcohol, or you just never partook?
It tastes like gas.
Well,
Oh.
it's an acquired taste.
It's a trap.
It's a trap.
acquired taste. So
It's not a taste I have acquired. Yeah, I've tasted multiple things. It just tastes like gas.
okay.
Hey, all I can say is, I go through wine phases. I'll go through a wine phase where I'm like, I haven't had it in like months, and all of a sudden I'll spend like an entire month just drinking wine, and then I go back to everything else. It just depends. Scoring was unexpectedly good today in Champions Retreat. 12 players score in the red, led by Rose Zhang's 66. Sorry, scrolling on me. Best single round total in Anwa history.
Yeah, I go through a beer phase every day of my life.
Hey.
It's glorious.
It's not really a phase. It's just alcoholism.
It's just
No, I'm
that's
just kidding.
just.
I'm joking. You drink your beer.
But hey,
I appreciate
Milwaukee's is.
I'll drink to that.
Look where he's at.
Yeah. Well, obviously, it's
There's a.
probably just drinking, shitty Milwaukee beer. I'm kidding again. I just like to give people a hard time.
All right, let's dive into this March Madness preview here. I'll drink to that.
Pinot Noirs. Pinot Noirs. Diacola likes. I like a Pinot. Pinot's crisp.
easy.
Any Pinots are nice. Because that's the grape. That's the grape type. So you can go Grigio, white, Noir for the red, and that's kind of where I live.
You like a
if possible.
connoisseur, Scotty. You know your grapes.
I've been to a lot of wine countries out in Cali.
And you just don't take me. I see.
No, not a fan.
Okay. All right.
Sorry.
Let's dive into the March Madness preview. All right, which one do we want to go first? Let's go left hand side. We want to talk about our boys. Who?
Yeah.
Our boys, the FAU Owls, because we got them going all the way. I mean, it's not even close, Scotty. I think in this one, Owls win this game outright. Right now, we're looking at the odds here for this tournament, and we have in this game Florida Atlantic getting 1.5. Is that a sucker bet? Because obviously they're heavy favorites, according to us. They're plus 114 on the money line. San Diego State, obviously, still very good defensively. They've been doing a lot through the tournament, shutting down some big-time teams. But Florida Atlantic's been doing the same thing. They've been working their way through and moving up. They got wins against good defensive teams like Tennessee, right? So Florida Atlantic knows how to win games against good defensive teams. They've proven that. And the fact that they're getting 1.5 here, I almost kind of like here. And over-under set at 131. Scotty, what are your thoughts on this game?
I mean, I refuse to believe that San Diego State is good.
They're Mountain West. Mountain West has to run out at some point.
I cannot do it. I'm still convinced San Diego State's not good. Listen, 1.5. I feel like most of the money's probably coming in on San Diego State. But I'd put money on Florida. I think they're gonna win this game. They're better. They're certainly better offensively. They're good enough defensively to limit what San Diego State can do offensively, which is not a lot. I think they can prevent San Diego State from scoring, and they're a good enough offense to give San Diego State, they're not going to put up a ton of points. 131 obviously is a very, very low point total in this game. I'd probably lean over, and I lean Florida Atlantic University to play for a national championship on Monday night.
Can you imagine like just hearing you say that out loud is so strange.
Yep.
The fact that we have Florida Atlantic in the college basketball national championship. Like you don't.
And if you look at KenPom, of these 4 teams, Miami's behind Florida Atlantic. Miami's, if you look at KenPom right now,
they're the worst team of the 4.
They're 22nd. Florida Atlantic is 17. San Diego State's 14. Connecticut's moved up to 1. So, like, Florida Atlantic is legit. They're very, very legit. They've lost 3 games all season for a reason. At the same time, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about Miami based off how they played in this tournament, being the last ranked team. But maybe that's just me liking offense. But Florida Atlantic is, I think America should cheer for them regardless, because I think they're a more fun team to watch than San Diego State.
Yeah,
San Diego State in a national championship game would be a disaster for that national, like the entertainment value of that national championship game. Because they play ugly, they make the other team play ugly, and people will question if anybody's in college is good at basketball watching that game.
Yeah.
Like, the people that haven't watched a game and watched the national championship, if San Diego State's involved, will just be like, how the hell did these 2 teams make it?
Well,
Salty.
It's so salty. But
It's not salty.
But Florida Atlantic has put away what? They started out their trajectory first round against Memphis. Memphis 38th ranked defense, 25th ranked offense.
Who did you have winning that game?
I had Memphis winning that game. Okay. Honestly, I did.
I want to make sure. I did have Florida Atlantic. I'm a genius.
You're a genius. But I mean, really, really solid effort there. Then you go and they play Tennessee, the number 1 ranked defense in the country, after they, the Fairleigh Dickinson, game, 16 seed. They're better than a 16 seed, so they should have won that game. So nice, kind of road in the second round from that point. But they, no one gave them a chance in the Tennessee matchup, right? No one thought they would be able to score against the number 1 defense. And I mean, look what they did. They held Tennessee defensive. 55 points. Tennessee put up 55. That's it. Low scoring game. FAU put up enough to survive Tennessee. Then you go to Kansas State. Kansas State, still very, very good team. They're ranked 28th defensively. They still put away Kansas State. Kansas State, 79-76. They put up 79 on a team that is very, very good. So, I mean, I like to say that the defense for San Diego State, number 4 overall in this tournament, or in KenPom, is going to be able to hold them, but I don't think so. I mean, FAU has been able to figure it out. So, I don't know. I'm on the Owls bandwagon. We don't talk about that game versus Tennessee, says Rick. Yeah, sure we don't.
All right, Chris Scotty, is this a matchup between modern college basketball with the nil versus old college basketball, where San Diego State's all 4-year seniors, 5th-year graduates?
Oh, you mean from
35 is all seniors.
I see what you're saying.
Playing together the whole time. 4 years they've been playing.
You mean veteran squads versus NIL, NIL bags, pretty much. Maybe. I mean,
and listen, these teams, of their 20 starters between the 4 of them, because 5 times 4 is 20, Chris.
You're the math guru. I believe in science.
16 of these players that are starting were with the team the year prior. So not a lot of transfers. I mean, now you look at the nil. Like, Chris, as a Kansas fan, we already have 5 players, and this is not the players included that are like going pro or whatever. There are 5 players from Kansas that have already announced they're in the transfer portal. And and that's not them leaving to somewhere else. They're going to another college. They're playing college basketball somewhere else next year. So I think there's certainly something to be said for having some continuity, having guys that play in your program a couple years. Now that the nil's, like, you can transfer and play the next season. Like, there's way more movement. And I mean, it can go both ways, because when Kansas won last year, Chris, they got a transfer from Arizona State that like was a big piece to us winning the national championship. Without him, we wouldn't have done it.
Sure.
So there's some give and take there, but I do think it helps to have the continuity and playing together for multiple seasons and not just like this turnover year after year after year. Like that can be hard to deal with. Ask Calipari how it works out to just have new teams every year.
Well, yeah,
Not great.
I mean, well, you have those one and dones, right? You have the Dukes, the Kentuckys, the North Carolinas. I mean, there's no consistency when it comes to the teams that are put on the court.
But now it's not even those teams. It's other teams that have to face. If you don't play for a year, you're moving on to another team. It used to be like, I'm going to stick with it. I'll keep with the program. But now that you can transfer without having to sit out a year,
the
these players are just, the players are just like, I'll just go somewhere else. I didn't play enough. I'm not happy. So,
like I heard this today. There's something.
I hate it.
There's over something like 1,200 players already in the transfer portal, and that's D1. It's not even including D2 or the incoming freshmen. There are 1,200 D1 players going, all right, I'm leaving.
More than I hate it for college sports, I hate it more for the athletes. And I'll tell you what, Chris, I hate the fact that we're teaching these kids, they're still kids. They're in college. They're kids. That, hey, if you're not happy here, just give up, quit, and go somewhere else.
Well,
I hate that.
Well, and where does that translate? You go to the NBA now. Kevin Durant. Hey, I'm tired of this contract. You know what? I'm gonna bounce out. Oh, Kyrie Irving. You know what? Get me out of here. Trade me. I'm done. I'm not playing for you. Like, it translates to the big game too. It's like
but I'm not even talking about the ones that make it to the NBA. I'm talking about the 90+% of athletes in college basketball that don't play professional basketball that we're teaching that, hey, if you're not happy,
sure,
it just instead of like persevering and saying, hey, maybe it's about me, and if I change my work ethic, if I do this or that, or if I just stay here, I'm gonna have an opportunity. We're teaching them like, if you're not happy, just quit and go somewhere else. I hate it, Chris. We're setting up these kids to fail in life after basketball.
You're preaching
because
to the choir,
we're telling them that everything should be easy, and if it's not easy, quit and go somewhere else.
I mean, but Scotty,
that's not life.
Scotty, on that behalf, though, if you're a junior and you're a backup on the bench, and you can go, say, transfer from Kansas to just a random college, Florida Atlantic University, and make $150,000 next year, would you not?
Well, no one's making $150,000 at Florida Atlantic, but I get the ones that are at least juniors or seniors. And you're like, if you're not playing at a program as a junior or senior, fine, move on. It's the ones that are like freshmen that don't play a ton as freshmen, and then they're like, I'm bouncing, I'm leaving, I'm not happy. That's the ones that bother me the most. Juniors and seniors, if you're not playing as forget seniors, as a junior at a program, it's the writing's probably on the wall. And if you want to just go somewhere and get to be able to play the game you love, I can respect that. I can totally.
That's hard to say though, because if you're a 19, 20-year-old athlete, yeah, we're gonna pay you $150,000, $200,000 come play basketball for us. Well, why would you not?
Wait, who is paying? No one's paying anyone at FAU. By the way,
I don't think. I mean, some of the big time programs.
I think you're overestimating.
I think some of the
NIL program.
Some of the big programs could potentially pull some big money. I don't know. I mean, even some of the biggest names. I mean, I don't know if there's that much NIL money.
And I actually think NIL money is going to get lower and lower.
Well,
I think people got excited when it came out, and now they're realizing they don't really get a return.
It's not going to be as big of a thing moving forward. We've already seen some schools get burned on NIL, where it's like there's guaranteed NIL money, and then they just We saw that with what's his name? We talked about it on the stream that one time. What was it? I can't remember his name. Brennan. Or I don't know. I can't remember his name. But
I don't know.
Got the NIL bag and said, "Hey, all right, I'm retiring out of college. I'm done," and didn't play a single snap. And he was like, "All right, cool, see ya." And NIL is not going to always. There's going to. It's fresh and new now. It's not going to be unless you're a top of the top athlete. What top
NIL is
5%?
way more involved in football than it is basketball. And NIL in football.
I'm only throwing that $150,000, $200,000 mark out there because I'm here in Wisconsin. I'm a Wisconsin graduate, and that's what I'm hearing. They're offering these incoming players $200,000. Come on here and play, and it isn't big enough.
I don't know the ins and outs of what kind of money is being thrown around at some of the bigger schools and versus some of the smaller schools. I just know the smaller schools.
And there's ironically players like Armando Bacot or for North Carolina. I call him Bacon. Yeah. Staying another year at North Carolina. And I know why. He's staying because he can make more as a big time college player because he's not going to be a great NBA player. Like he's not going to make a ton of money in the pros. He's going to be at best like a reserve big. But he realized, like, hey, if I stay at North Carolina and I'm one of the top players in the country, I can make a lot more NIL-wise staying here. So that's one argument is, like, some of these guys that may not be great pro players but are great college players will stay a little longer because they can make that NIL money. I think NIL affects basketball quite a bit less than football. Football is basically, it's basically these people that have all the money in the world to pay, and they always did, now paying legally, I guess, and they don't care about a return on their money. Like they don't care that, like, if you bring a return or not. Like your return is go win a national championship.
It's a notoriety.
That's what you're supposed to do.
This is a good conversation, Scotty. Did you watch the Pat McAfee show today?
I did not.
Well, they had Pac-Man on there, and they're like, all right, say you're a safety who's going to get taken in the 5th round. What's your career going to be? Maybe 2 or 3 more years? If you're crappy, why wouldn't you stay in college, possibly make $1 million a year, and then go flame out in the NFL? Why wouldn't you do that?
Yeah, I mean, if that opportunity is there and you have the self-awareness, the problem is a lot of these athletes don't have the self-awareness to think they're not going to make it in the NFL, right? Like they've been good at what they do their whole life. They're confident in themselves, which they should be. And they're like, no, I'm going to go and I'm going to play in the best league ever and I'm going to make it there. That's the issue. Like the awareness of athletes to know, like, I'm better off staying here because my peak NFL career is pretty low, but I can make more here. It's just hard for a lot of athletes to realize that.
And what are we talking? We're talking about not the top tier athlete, not the top 1%. We're talking about the guys that are kind of like that second tier, that like kind of like
still
the guys,
really good.
Good, but not guys, not like guys that are going to have like multiple years in the pros to be able to, you know, fall back on, hey, I'm going to have long contracts in the NFL or the NBA. Like these are like, so tier 1 guys don't worry about NIL because they don't need to. They know where they're going. It's the second tier, third tier guys that are like, you know, all right, well, I need to make my bag now because obviously I can't compete at the next level or have a long career enough to sustain it over a long period of time. So I need to make my money now.
Yeah. I mean, most 5th round picks in the league probably don't make it unless you're drafted by the Chiefs, and then you're going to be fine.
Here we go.
Here we go.
But most 5th round picks don't really last on the league.
No, I mean, you're a 22-year-old guy. They're like, all right, we'll pay you $1 million to play college football, or you get drafted in the 5th round. I don't know what the contract is, a couple $100,000, 3-year contract. They cut you after the first year, and then you're done. You got nothing.
No.
Yeah.
Look at Rec in the chat. Anthony Richardson thinks he's tier 1 despite doing jack shit in college. That is a desperate cry from Rec to being like, I'm so mad that Anthony Richardson's already better than my quarterback who's like 30 years old in his second year.
I don't see how a project is better than an NFL rated quarterback, but
I
alright.
promise you that Anthony Richardson will be better than your quarterback.
I mean,
promise you.
he has the potential, but to say he's already there is just a lie.
I'm just saying at one point in his career, his peak performance in his career will be beyond your quarterback.
That's
Any small hands pick it.
That's if Richardson
Richardson's
goes
going
to a
number
good
4
team.
to the Colts. So, like, that guy's going to make a lot of money.
Yeah, he'll make a lot of money for 4 years, and then he'll
all
be
right.
out of the league because the Colts can't develop.
Let's save this conversation. Let's save this conversation for when we get into quarterbacks here in a little bit, because we're going to be doing that next. So don't worry. We're going to be talking a lot about Richardson and some of the other top five.
Might be our number 1 overall.
He might be our top guy. Who knows? So let's say we're going to get to that in a second. But before we do, we already know we have the Owls beating the Mountain West.
Layup.
No Aztecs are making it to the championship. So we have an FAU. What's the highest seed to ever make it to a championship?
Disagree. San Diego.
I know the highest to win is an 8 seed, which FAU's a 9. I don't know the highest seed to make a title game.
Rec or Milwaukee's? Look that up. What's the highest seed to make a final? Let us know. Let's go into the other side. Uconn and the U going head to head. Now, Uconn and the U have had some interesting journeys to this Final Four. We have Miami. Let's start with Miami. Miami got a nice win against Drake, 5-12 matchup. No 5-12 upset there. 63-56. Move on to the next round. Beat Indiana 85-69. Indiana, not a lot of people believed in them moving into the tournament. They have a couple stud players that are going to be NBA draft picks, but Indiana just couldn't put it together. The guard play of Miami is just absolutely crazy at this point, because watching them, seeing that they're the 104th ranked defense in the college basketball landscape, adjusted, per 100 possessions. Like, there was no way I thought they would hold Indiana and play defense as well as they did against that game. I was on the fan face-off. I was watching that live, and I was impressed with what Miami did defensively. Come the next game, they got Houston on the landscape, right? They got Houston, not top seed in the Midwest Conference or Midwest corner of the bracket. Beat them 89-75 handily. It was close for various parts of the game, but Miami pulled away at the very end. Houston did not have the answers at the end of the game to overtake Miami. So Miami moves on. You're saying, all right, well, you beat number 1 Houston. How could you take down number 2 Texas at this point, who is the other favorite in the Midwest to get to the Final Four? Nope. Miami did some work there too and beat them 88-81 in a close one. And you're thinking, all right, you took down number 1 Houston, number 2 Texas, and now you're in the Final Four. Is there any team you can't take down? Because those two were favorites in most people's brackets to make it this far, and they didn't. Because
Chris, can I answer a question real quick?
Sure, go ahead.
Number 8 is the lowest seed to win the tournament. That was Villanova in 1985.
Okay.
Correct. Knew that.
And there have been 4 number 11 seeds that made the Final Four. George Mason, 2006.
Okay.
LSU, 1986. VCU, 2011. Loyola Chicago, 2018.
Okay, so
Who was the coach for George Mason?
the coach, it's the coach for Miami, isn't it?
I think so. Jim Larinaga?
Jim Larinaga.
You might be right, but that was your answer. So, yeah, 8 is the lowest seed to win it.
8 is the lowest seed to win it, but 11 is the lowest Final Four seed.
Chairman did add and UCLA in 2021.
Yeah, and 2021, UCLA.
No, they made the Final Four. They didn't make the national championship game.
No, they didn't.
They lost to your Zags, Chris.
Yeah.
On a crazy shot from Jalen Suggs.
Jalen Suggs. All right, so 11 seeds. So, I mean,
So number 9 seed FAU will surpass all them, right?
If they
Lower-
win it all.
if they win it
The
all.
no, just to make the Final Four, the highest seed would be a 9 now, not an 11 seed.
I don't know. 11's bigger than 9. I don't how.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
yeah.
Don't worry.
Bigger number. It's cool. It's cool.
We're good. So all right, good. Thanks for looking that up for me. Appreciate that. So and then Uconn had a lot of people, it was a trendy pick to have Uconn go all the way. A lot of people had Uconn beating Kansas to go through and then beating either UCLA or Gonzaga to make it to the Final Four. So I don't think Uconn is as big of a stretch in the course of the west side of the bracket to make it this far. And on paper, they are the strongest team left of these 4 by far.
Yeah.
Sonogo is fantastic. They have some great guards. They have really good shooting. Overall, they're just, Ken Pom has them, as one of the best offenses, top 11 offense in the country.
Top 3
Or
offense.
top 3 offense and top 11 defense. I'm sorry. So, they're in great shape, but honestly, Houston and Texas were in great shape up until the time they played Miami. And guess who UConn's up against in the Final Four? It's Miami. So I don't know what to think about this matchup. I normally would be like UConn all the way, and I've been high on them. Milwaukee, you convinced me that UConn was a team that I should follow, and I picked them to go far. I did. Miami's different. We could have an FAU Miami final, and I wouldn't be shocked.
All Florida final.
All Florida. So I don't know, Scotty. I think Miami's just a different team.
Miami is way better offensively than I ever realized. I
Well-
didn't watch a ton of Miami. I watched the Texas game, and I was just like, they were making shots, especially like even when they were trailing the first half. Texas was playing phenomenal offensively in that first half, and Miami was playing offensively phenomenally. Like both teams were shot making like no one else that's in this Final Four. Like every other game was kind of ugly and like defense and muck it up or whatever. Maybe not UConn, but every other game was ugly. Miami, we're not giving credit to. Like Miami had the toughest road to get to the Final Four. First of all, having to beat Houston and Texas, toughest road to get here by far of these 4 teams. And you have a UConn team. Is UConn better than Miami? Yes. But this is a 1-game situation, and what UConn hasn't had to do is play in a close game down the stretch in this tournament. I just wonder. I wonder what happens to UConn if they're in a high pressure situation. They haven't faced that yet because they have been up double digits late in every single one of their games. If Miami is able to keep it close, keep it within 5 late, I wonder what happens to UConn. And I know what will happen to Miami. Miami's shown that they can play in that situation and come back and hit shots, and they're so good offensively. So I want Miami to win this game. I'm not I'd like to see like a new national champion in that sense. But UConn's a better team, but if it's close late, I think Miami might have the advantage just because UConn hasn't had to face that yet. And Miami's had a way tougher road, having to play Houston and Texas to get to this point.
And keep in mind, Miami they're underdogs by 5.5 points in this game, which
No. I'd definitely take Miami in the points.
I take Miami the points as well.
And this is the first time I'm betting against UConn with the points.
Yeah.
This whole tournament.
You said don't sleep on Miami's offense. Don't sleep on their defense. Their guards are all over the place. You look at their defense, and it's misleading that they're ranked 104th in the country at adjusted per 100 possessions on defense. And you could have fooled me if you were to just blindfold me and say, or not blindfold me, but just like take away all the Ken Pom stats, all the other stats, and just put me in front of the TV and put Miami.
What happens after we blindfold you, Chris? Then what?
Then, I mean,
Shit gets weird.
shit gets wild.
What's up, G girl?
What's up,
How
G?
you doing?
Hey,
How you doing?
G girl, go give G girl a follow. Go give Chairman a follow. Go give Rec and his crew all on YouTube a follow if you haven't already. All you guys who are doing some streaming stuff,
I
make sure
might
you guys
follow us after tonight, Chris.
Yeah, follow us.
I'm thinking
I mean,
about it.
you haven't done that yet, so let's get
No, but I'm thinking I might follow us after tonight.
But it's just like Miami. You can't look at what they do, and they're like if you were to just say watching Miami game, there's no shot that I would say they were under 20th in the country in defense. The way they play their guards and how aggressive they are, and how they've been all over each of these first 3 teams that they've played so far. I mean, they've been really, really good. And you look up and they're 107th or whatever in defense. I'm like, I would have never guessed. They're that good. And I think their offense leads to, a lot of, they're able to, transition from defense to offense pretty quick. That's what helps fuel their offense. I mean,
My question is, do they have the size to hang with UConn?
Yeah,
I worry about that.
That's the thing I'll be looking for as well. I mean, to be able to go against a bigger team. I mean, Texas is what? Middle of the road. Houston is a little bit of a smaller team, maybe not as big.
My boss came to me at lunch. Where the hell have you been? I've been trying to find you all morning. I shrugged and said, good employees are hard to find.
True.
They really are. They really are.
Yeah. You're right. Thank you, P3, for the bits.
Way to be a good employee.
Hey, P3 never disappoints as an employee. 100%. He always shows up. Woo! All right, so prediction, Scotty. I think we both love underdogs from a betting perspective. To win the game,
hard.
Straight up.
It's hard. I want Miami.
Miami's plus 202, so that money line is nice. You're getting some value.
I think UConn wins that game 60-ish% of the time at least. So it's hard to bet against them. But.
There was, and we talk about this in the beginning, there was somebody, I didn't do it this year, I know you did it before, who bet $100 on every underdog. Money line.
Yeah.
Up until this point. If you bet $100 on every underdog up until this point, well, I mean, look at this. Look at our graphic here. You're making money. They ended up winning. I think it was 2.3K. 2,000. They're up 2,000 plus. If you bet $100 on every underdog this tournament. I mean,
yeah.
that's
which this is going to be the best payout ever because this has been the biggest upset tournament of all time. But I bet it pays out most tournaments. Like maybe not a big amount, but at least some.
Scotty, next
but you're hanging
tournament
on,
in the ActionLab. ActionLab Sports. You and I are going to combine. I'll put 50 in. You put 50 in for every underdog.
Cool.
We're doing it next year. We're making that happen. We're going to track it. We're going to do it.
And then all the favorites are going to just fucking win.
And then what we're going to do with the winnings, maybe we'll give it all back to you guys with some cool gifts or something. I don't know.
Fuck that.
Or we'll go party and we'll go to TwitchCon or have fun in Vegas or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Stop giving it back.
Yeah, stop giving it back. You guys don't deserve. No, just kidding. It's a trap.
It's a trap.
All right. So, Scotty, both of us.
Yes.
We both have Florida final.
Let's go with Florida. All Florida final.
All Florida championship. Let's
go.
go.
Big Cheese will be excited about that.
Cheese.
That we were streaming with.
Yeah. Oh.
Just the lockdown defense with his.
Nope, your mod goes against you. I asked San Diego, UConn.
Oh, I feel even better now.
Oh, I feel great now.
I feel even better about our picks, Chris. No offense, Milwaukee, but I meant offense there.
Rec, what do you got?
Rex gone.
No, I'm here.
Oh, damn it! It was just like I was excited for a minute.
On the
there you
show,
are.
I picked. I did San Diego and Miami.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got half of the Miami. You got half the Florida. But we'll give you Amazon Primes. If next year we make it big, Rec, we'll give you 1 year of Amazon Prime. We will.
It's not that expensive, Rec.
Like it's a deal. It's a great deal for
It
us.
pays for itself. Do you
Well, it
buy
doesn't-
goods or products?
It literally
No.
pays itself after 2 orders, I think.
Rec, when was the last time you bought something?
on Amazon or ever?
No, ever. Ever.
Like ever.
A couple months ago, I bought a new phone case at Walmart.
A couple months ago, you bought a new phone case at Walmart.
Oh wait, no, I
And
remember.
How much was that?
Actually, no, a few weeks ago, I bought I went to AutoZone and got some I got some coolant and wiper fluid for my truck.
Oh my.
But that's like a necessity.
Yeah.
So
When's the last time you
phone
bought
case-
something
Hold
that
on,
you
this phone case that you bought like a couple months ago at Walmart? How much was it?
A little over $50.
Oh,
damn you splurged?
didn't even know
Yeah.
Walmart would have a $50 case.
I didn't either. I'm just looking around, looking for one that fit my big ass phone. It found one. Like, all right, it's great. I gotta go with this.
You
What'd you
have a
buy for?
tablet?
Yeah, what'd you buy? An otter?
I don't know what this is. Yes, it's an otter.
Oh, out of Otter Company, out of Fort Collins, Colorado. So
Oh,
congratulations.
You're welcome.
Great product. Thanks for feeding our
Question-
economy here.
question
with your
a
$50
question
purchase.
for y'all in the chat. You buy a phone case. How often does your phone case save it from like the damage that actually ends up happening to it?
A lot. I drop my phone a lot.
I don't believe in cases, and it's not worked out great.
It's a trap.
It's a trap. No, I'm more of a fan of the screen protector.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't like bulk, Chris. I don't like bulk
I don't either, and that's
with
why
my phone.
I don't like
Oh.
Costco.
No, bulk on my phone. I don't like bulk on my phone. Costco's fine.
Oh,
Maybe not to the Ecola level, but
STG, it's been a while, man. How you been? What's going on, STG? My phone case has saved my ass too many times. Okay, all right.
I'm forever after this phone gonna get a phone case just because it's not worth my wife looking at me and saying I told you so.
Yeah.
It's just not worth it.
You have enough of that. You hear that all the time.
A lot. Chris. You'd be surprised.
STG saw that
I'm
we
not
had
surprised.
STG saw we had a coming in hot in our title, and he was like, "Dude,
Yeah.
what are we doing? I gotta be here." So we're gonna get to that here in a little bit. But first, now that we've wrapped up STG, by the way, let us know who you have in your finals, your championship game. We Scotty and I both have a Miami, and we have all Florida championship. So that's what we're rolling with. So
Just underdog city. Let's go.
should we do the underdog bet for the Final Four and the finals? Is that doable?
Sure.
You want to do it?
Yes.
I mean, yeah. Why would it not be doable?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Oh.
I'll put 50. You put 50.
SCG's all in on Florida as well. Let's go.
I reluctantly have all Florida as well. Let's get it. Let's go. It's the all new. This is the way. This is the way. You watch Mandalorian, right, Sky?
Early on, yes, and then I got bored.
You're missing out.
And that's
Not really for me. I've never been a huge Star Wars guy, though.
Fair. You're
Outside of Jar Jar Binks.
the only worst thing
That's
you can.
my favorite-
The only worst
that's
thing
my
you can
favorite
say right now is that you're more of a Star Trek fan.
No.
Okay, good.
Never,
All right,
never
that-
watched Star Trek.
That's fine. Then we're good.
I'm not big. I don't watch anything.
Well, because you can't afford to watch anything, Wreck.
I can. I just don't want to.
Way to save your money. What are you saving your money for, Rick? Out of curiosity, what are you saving it for?
Future,
Oh.
like how
Oh, for the
you know,
future.
like a place, like a house, maybe a new truck, new laptop. I need to get a new laptop at the very least, but yeah,
House. I mean, those are good plans. Those are good plans.
thanks.
Jar Jar Binks, we are definitely not the same person.
Listen, no, Miss Jaja. You should know, sir. You must love Jaja.
What
It's
is?
just an ability I have. It's not a big deal.
Let's go. Is that a Jar
Rex,
Jar?
like, I don't know what that
Binks?
was, but
No, I know what it
Jar
was.
Jar Binks you've ever heard.
I know what it was.
For not being a Star Wars dude, you know the Jar Jar Binks?
Oh yeah, I'm very good at Jar Jar. Also very good at
Whoa.
Gollum. Don't like Lord of the Rings, but I'm very good at Gollum.
Well, they're almost the same voice, aren't they?
Correct. That's
They're
why I'm good at
pretty
both.
much. It's just like a one little
It's
darker.
a little more raspy and darker with
Yeah.
Gollum, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
No,
hey,
no. I just need to promote the one chip challenge. We need 6 more subscribers.
Let's go.
six more subs, and I find the one chip challenge on stream.
Chris does the one chip. I'm here for it.
You
I
throw
might
it-
sub 6 times. How do I sub, Chris?
You throw in an extra 5, and you could hear Scotty do his Jar Jar talking to Gollum as a little skit.
Yeah. I pulled something up for that.
Okay.
Gotta promote that. Come on, chat.
Let's go.
Let's
Hey,
go.
do you want to
6
see me?
more for Chris to
If you saw me
be
lose
miserable?
my mind, if you saw me lose my mind on Sunday, you would love.
I'm not even kidding, Chris. If I knew how to sub, I would do 6 right now.
Well,
There's
Hey!
one.
yay.
There we go.
5 more.
Thank you, SDG, for the 11 months. You're almost a year old. Let's go. Thank you,
go.
thank
I'm
you
over
for
a year
the,
old.
thank you for the for the love.
Yeah,
there.
SDGs, share the stream. 5 more. Come on, buddy.
Anybody?
Well, maybe if someone gets me so we could see how old I am.
Mm.
You're literally like over a year and haven't bought a sub once. You've been
No.
gifted more subs than Santa Claus does on Christmas.
Oh my goodness. All right, well, there you go. That's our preview for the March Madness Final Four. Look at this beggar. Yeah.
I know. It's sad. It's very sad.
We are done with that. So we will keep tabs on it. Make sure you guys are following our Discord. We're going to be talking a lot about the games during Saturday when we're watching live. So we're not live here, but just like when all of us are watching at our homes and talking about what's happening when both Florida teams make it to the championship game.
Right.
So tune in
Obviously.
and join our Discord so we can all have fun. If you haven't hit that follow button, if you're lurking behind the scenes, thank you for lurking, by the way. But we would love to see you as a
But
follower.
also sub so I can watch Chris eat a hot chip.
Guys,
I actually want this bad.
you want to see me eat a hot chip? I'll eat a hot chip.
Listen, if anyone just subs 5 times over, I'll Venmo you back. I just don't even know how to sub to the
He
channel.
just doesn't know how to do it.
I'll Venmo you. That
I
money
can teach.
back.
I can show you how to sub to the channel.
Oh,
Well, I feel like that's cheating, though. I feel like someone else has to do it. If I did it, Chris would be like, I'm not agreeing to that bet. It'd be under the table that I Venmo you back, obviously.
All right, guys. Well, keep it going. Chris, how would you rate your spice tolerance out of 5? I would say, well,
He's good.
I have normally I would say like 3.5 to 4 out of 5. I'm like pretty good. But
I would put you at least at a 4.
I would say that my tolerance has dropped because I haven't been eating spicy recently. But then we had our other night where we had a bunch of sauces, hot sauces, and then I ate some jalapenos from my garden the other day.
I think this challenge would be
A little bit.
I've seen every person I've seen that can handle spice that does this challenge with the chip.
It doesn't.
It does not go well
no,
for them.
it does
They
not.
do not enjoy it.
So
I mean, what was that one sauce that Chris did the other day that almost killed him?
The bomb.
the bomb.
The bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what took him out.
I'm gonna be honest, and someone a long time ago asked how we were feeling. I think it was random. I don't know if they're still here. Said, how are we feeling after the other night? Chris, I went to work the next morning But I went to the restroom twice before going to work, and then a third time right after I got to work.
Hey,
I was struggling.
It was
I was
little.
struggling.
Let's just say you were feeling a little spicy the next day.
My tummy hurt a little bit.
Little
I had a tummy ache.
spicy. True.
It was
Plus-
not ideal. Not what I would have hoped for.
Uh,
And now my kids have been sick all week, so it's been awesome.
APC, what's going on? Welcome from the land
What's
down
new
under.
in the USA? We're just as dumb as ever. I
As
don't know.
dumb as ever. You know, cracking corks for me tonight. Cracking, sinking tins for Scotty tonight. You know, no big deal.
APC, do people down under
I'll
view
drink
us
to
as
that.
idiots in America? Because I feel like they should, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's like we're to the world what Florida is to us.
No, SDG, it will be bad. It will be bad. It will be a rough challenge for me. I guarantee it.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Like, I don't think anyone escapes the chip challenge not feeling the pain.
But all right, it's time, guys. We are time to shift to some NFL. If you're here, you can see the little counter in the bottom right-hand corner. 161 days, 20 hours, 58 minutes, and 5 seconds until the NFL season kicks off once again.
Until, more specifically, my Chiefs kick off, Chris.
Yeah.
Against somebody.
APC,
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but sorry, your boy's not going to be back. Your boy's not going to be back. Tom Brady is not going to be someone you can watch. So, APC, who are you going to be watching this year? If it's not Tom Brady, you
Watch Kenny Pickett.
USA schools problem, pretty scary. I'm looking at Australia. Yeah, I mean, we have obviously Iraq. That was probably close to, I don't know.
Yeah, it was a few hours.
But yeah, no, another
prayers
school shooting.
Prayers out, obviously.
Terrible. I don't even know what to say. It's embarrassing. It's ridiculous. I mean, I know how to stop it, but at the same time, it's just both sides make it political, and that doesn't help. Like, let's just actually try and help people rather than trying to further your career as a politician.
Well said.
Yeah, guys, I was close to deleting that message because we don't need that here, but whatever.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
fair. Honestly, it's fair. I mean, we have a problem here in America with that.
You know, we don't get political here, but you know, we like to, you know, once in a while, some things we could talk about for a little bit. Just
anytime three adults too, but 3 9-year-old kids get shot at a school that's a problem. I mean, that's a problem, and it happens too much.
It
happens too often here.
There's a lot that, you know,
I'm not saying specifically how to fix it, but it's a problem, and it's incredibly sad. And as a father of a kid in school, like, it's terrifying.
Yeah. No,
like, it hits harder, Chris. Once your kid's in school, like, it hits harder. You get scared. Like, you're like, what if that could happen to my kid?
Yep.
Like, it's terrifying. But that's off on another tangent.
Yeah. No, I mean, obviously we love to give you know, some time to certain things that need to be said. But, you know, we're a sports stream and we love to talk sports and we love to keep things light. That doesn't mean that we don't feel very strongly about certain things and that happen in our world and everything else. So, you know, prayers out to everybody that, you know, are going through some terrible situations like that. And that's all we could say. But we just hope there's just change at some level. I said it's great to be in Miami Hurricane. Ty loving his Miami Hurricanes. There you